Known as the Gateway to the West, St. Louis is a vibrant and unique city known as a fantastic travel destination for just about anyone. On a massive road trip from Georgia all the way to Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming, we knew we had to stop here. In this video, Rachel and I will show you some of the best things you can do in St. Louis if you only have one day. Follow along as we experience a world-class zoo with over 16,000 animals, one of the world's largest collections of mosaic art at a beautiful cathedral, play around with mind-bending illusions, experience Missouri's rich history, and see the largest monument in the country. Let's dive in. Our first stop is the St. Louis Zoo, consistently ranked as one of the top zoos in the world. It houses over 16,000 animals, 500 different species, over a 90-acre radius. USA Today ranked this as the best zoo in the United States in both 2017 and 2018. The best part is, it's free to enter, due to the public subsidy from a cultural tax district. I would highly recommend getting a map or using the online 3D map before exploring, as this massive zoo can be a challenge to navigate. Our first stop was River's Edge, a beautiful rainforest-themed area displaying an interesting variety of animals from 4 different countries. So I read that rhino is a black rhino. It's a very rare species of rhino.
Highly endangered.
Extremely endangered, yes. So what's their bite strength?
It would be about 1,800 to 2,000 PSI. If you ever seen them crush a watermelon with their mouth, they're strong animals. They also can't swim. They're too heavy. They sink. So they just kind of walk on the bottom of the water body. So they just kind of waltz around. You would think that them being so heavy would impede on their speed. I'm pretty sure that they can run at about 25 miles per hour.
But they're so heavy that they can't swim?
They spend most of their life in the water. They can hold their breath for a remarkable amount of time.
I like that they spend their lives in the water, but they can't swim.
Yeah, it's interesting.
They just hold their breath?
Yeah. They just walk on the bottom.
This is the animal expert here. I do wildlife photography, but she knows all the weird facts.
Look at that vicious wild animal right there. That's a cold-blooded killer.
Lion King did them dirty. These are one of my favorite animals, like, in the savannah, because they're just so, one, they're just adorable, and 2, they also are, they have a hierarchy, and they have like a social climbing ladder. By socializing with each other, they can actually gain like more friends and like how people do, and they can actually climb the social ladder until like they're the most dominant one in the pack, but they never have to fight.
If you don't feel like walking all the way around this massive zoo, try using the Emerson Zoo Line Railroad that circles the park, stopping at popular locations. Another super popular animal here is the Asian elephant. They are the largest living land mammal, second to African elephants, and host the largest brains in the entire animal kingdom. They can be up to 12 feet tall and weigh up to 11,000 pounds.
Silly creature.
Don't expect to be able to see every animal, as habitats can be closed for a variety of reasons, like general maintenance or animal treatment. A couple of other animals not shown in this area are the mongoose and sun bear. Our next stop was the Bear Insectarium, one of the handful of exhibits in all of North America dedicated solely to bugs. It's bug o'clock.
Bug o'clock.
This area houses over 100 different insect species and holds most of the invertebrates seen throughout the zoo. There is also a butterfly exhibit that was unfortunately closed for maintenance while we were there. Next, we headed towards the area called the Wild, easily one of our favorite areas of the entire zoo. The St. Louis Zoo is accredited for being one of the first zoos to replicate each animal's habitats in the wild. One of the best examples of this is the Chile penguin area. It houses 4 different penguin species as well as 2 different types of puffins. This area can be a lot for someone who doesn't expect it, as penguins aren't exactly the most polite creatures in the world. These penguins in particular splash people that get close to them. They don't smell that great either, and they're also extremely loud.
That would totally get you.
Opening in 2003, this was the first open-air penguin exhibit of its kind, having special lighting to simulate their wild habitat. They have puffins. As a wildlife photographer, puffins are my dream. They are so difficult to find and photograph. So seeing them, this is my first time ever seeing a puffin. Hopefully one day I'll see them in the wild. Next, we moved on to one of my personal favorites, the polar bear exhibit. I haven't been to many zoos, but when I found out that there were real polar bears here, I had to go see this in person. This massive 40,000 square foot exhibit houses 2 twin brother polar bears, Kalu and Kalik. Polar bears are the largest species of bear on the planet. They are almost exclusively carnivorous and one of the only animals to consider humans as prey. They can swim for up to 60 miles without stopping. Also, their skin is actually black. Can you tell that I like bears? They're so cute for something that would murder me. I've never seen a polar bear in real life. My dream is to photograph one in the wild, but you have to go on like a Norwegian expedition to even get close to one. And even then, you still have a chance. It's also like tens of thousands of dollars to try to like go on those expeditions out there, and it takes days of searching. But that's awesome to see a polar bear. This area also houses several monkeys and apes, one of the most notable ones being the orangutan and gorilla. Orangutans are said to have the intelligence of a 4-year-old human child. They are also the largest tree-dwelling mammal in the world. You are a big boy.
She's so big. Big ounce. Look at it.
What's up, buddy? Next, we headed to the historic hill area, which has a variety of birdhouses and gardens, with an extremely large collection of exotic bird species inside. This was my favorite area. Yeah, toucans are far enough away. What's up, guys? Oh, I've never seen one of these either. Might be easy to miss this. Right as you're going up to the kookaburras, you got this place over here, which is housing owls and all sorts of stuff. It's awesome here. At this point, the sheer size of the zoo was starting to get a little overwhelming. After nearly 4 hours, it felt like we had just barely scratched the surface. Everywhere we turned, there was even more exhibits and more animals to see. I love birds. So, of course, this is my favorite part.
I've never seen a frog mouth in person. Ever.
They have so many good birds here, too. They have everything in this zoo. It's incredible. I mean, look at these owls. Most people probably miss this part. We have discovered the secondary bird section.
Bird.
We're the biggest bird fans here.
I'm the biggest bird.
Our last stop was the Cypress Swamp, formerly known as the Bird Cage. Back during the 1904 World's Fair, the Bird Cage was created for the Louisiana Purchase exhibition. It was the largest bird cage in the world at the time, and was the beginning of the St. Louis Zoo. The modern cage area mirrors the cypress swamps of the American South. After this, we made a quick stop in the Red Rocks area, which houses most of the African animals, and then we headed out of the zoo for the day. All right, well, that's all for St. Louis. There's honestly still even more we can see.
St. Louis in general? We're done? That's it? It's done. He meant the zoo. He meant St. Louis Zoo. By the way, if you couldn't tell.
So that's all for the St. Louis Zoo. There's honestly even more we could have seen. Like, we didn't see the giraffe or the tiger or the camel, but we saw pretty much everything else. We had to get out of the sun because there is an extreme heat warning in St. Louis for this weekend. So we're gonna do all the indoor stuff for a while until we head back outside.
I feel like I'm frying like a piece of bacon on a griddle.
Jeez, real though. But yeah, now we're gonna head into the Missouri History Museum, and we're gonna check out some of the stuff in there, like the 1904 World's Fair that happened here. So see you then. Where you see us driving, and where both the museum and the zoo are located within Forest Park, which is the largest urban park in the country, even surpassing Central Park. This area is an epicenter for local fairs, festivals, and events year-round, and was a location of the 1904 World's Fair. The Missouri History Museum is another free attraction in the city. For over 150 years, the Missouri Historical Society has collected and preserved artifacts significant to the city of St. Louis. The building was originally created as a memorial to Thomas Jefferson. The most recent addition is the 1904 World's Fair exhibit, which was revamped for its 120-year anniversary last year. The exhibit had an awesome model recreation of what the fair would have looked like, as well as interactive screens, which would show more details on the temporary buildings constructed for the event. They had the desk of the president of the fair, as well as many other artifacts, all from 1904. During the World's Fair, over 20 million people attended and over 60 nations participated in this monumental event. The event was meant to showcase new technology, architecture, and innovation to the entire world. It was basically a flexing contest between countries. Entire temporary buildings mimicking the architecture of neoclassical palaces were made of plaster and wood just for this event. Important inventions shown for the first time here were the wireless telephone, the X-ray machine, the electric streetcar, as well as the first airship contest. The History Clubhouse across from this area has great interactive hands-on activities for kids as well. There is another part of the museum under the airplane which has the collection of artifacts from the past 150 years, with significant stories to Missouri's history. The rest of the museum is a little random because of this collection, but it is free, so at the end of the day, I would say it's worth it. also a second floor currently under construction with more exhibits coming soon. That's a pretty cool museum. Definitely the highlight being the World's Fair. If anything, come to check out that portion of the exhibit because that is the coolest part of the museum. Next, we're gonna head on to the Cathedral. Okay, now I haven't been to a lot of cathedrals, but that is enormous. The Cathedral Basilica of St. Louis was completed in 1914. It serves as the mother church for the Diocese of St. Louis. It was designated a basilica by Pope John Paul II in 1997. This church is famous for its mosaics, which are images created from hundreds or even thousands of small pieces of colored tiles. Over the course of 80 years with the collaboration and input of dozens of artists, this cathedral created the world's largest collection of mosaics outside of Russia. There are nearly 42 million glass tile pieces, 7,000 different colors, covering 83,000 square feet. Many of these artists dedicated their entire lives to these art pieces, and it shows. Just walking around this church makes you feel so insignificant. This is genuinely one of the most amazing churches either of us have ever seen. Rachel was dumbfounded the entire time, and so was I. Our next stop was the Museum of Illusions, the only attraction we had to pay for in St. Louis. It's $30 per person to enter. This spot is basically just a fun place to goof around and take strange pictures with all the visual illusions you can play around with. Most of the things to do here were standing in certain positions with the camera to make things look larger in perspective or more warped. We had a pretty fun time goofing around with some of these.
Really working? No, that's never work.
Dude, that's so cool.
It doesn't look bad until you get in here.
Let me see.
Oh my god,
Oh, dude, no kidding. I almost dropped my... Oh, okay, so it looks normal on camera, but it feels like you're spinning. Oh, God. Oh, and then as soon as you get out, you don't feel anything. Like, you feel completely fine.
Oh no, not again.
There's also a puzzle area in the middle of the building where you can try to solve various tricky mind games. Overall, we had a fun time here, but this is one of those one-time places we probably wouldn't visit again frequently, and it is pretty pricey for admission as well. Our final stop on our day in St. Louis was Gateway Arch National Park. It is the smallest national park by far, only reaching about 2% the size of the next smallest, Hot Springs National Park. The arch itself is the tallest building in Missouri, rising a staggering 630 feet in the air. The legs are 54 feet wide at their base. Rachel, what do you think of,
What, the parabola?
I guess it is a parabola.
I think. I
do you
dropped
think
out.
Oh yeah, the parabola dance.
The parabola.
It's a national park. Why? I don't exactly know, but it's a cool memorial. Below the arch is a massive museum, which is definitely half of the experience of coming here. This museum is excellently designed, going era by era through Missouri's history, with each room. As you walk through the eras, it also teaches you about the meaning of Gateway Arch and why it was constructed. Gateway Arch is known as the Gateway to the West, symbolizing the Louisiana Purchase and westward expansion movement of American pioneers. as well as the geographic importance of St. Louis being the first civil government west of the Mississippi. The museum also goes over the design, construction, and legacy of the arch itself. There's also a tram ride inside the arch itself that can take you up to the observation deck at the top, but unfortunately it was sold out when we were there. We got one more thing left before we're done with Gateway Arch National Park, and that is the Mississippi overlook over on the other side. So flying a drone in a national park is illegal. You can't actually do it. So I brought one for the other side on the Illinois side of the Mississippi River. We're about to get some sick shots. That's gonna do it for our day in St. Louis. We saw about as much as we could in one day, and I think that was a great way to end it off. So we're gonna head back to the campground, and tomorrow night we're heading on out west. If you're watching this later on, check out our other videos along this massive road trip out west, and some of our others on nature and travel, and we will see you all on the next journey.